Welcome everyone to the Cancel Me Later podcast. Hopefully tonight it's
What's
working
up,
on
guys?
Rumble. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll check. Yeah.
This is episode 8. We got our guest tonight, Dylan, here. We got Rachel, Zach, and myself, John. And we're going to have a very heavy episode. And to make this episode heavy, we're starting off strong. And we're going to get Zach riled the fuck up.
Woo!
We'll see.
All right, here we
Come
go.
on.
It's his favorite boy, the feminine Nick Fuentes.
Little girl.
What does this vagina man have to say?
Seriously.
This has to be the breaking point. This is the breaking point for the GOP coalition. You buried the Epstein files. There is no border wall. You didn't deliver on mass deportations. You cut corporate tax rates for the rich by cutting Medicaid again. No infrastructure bill, no middle class tax cuts. You got to refund the tariffs. And now we're in a regime change war with Iran. That's the breaking point. I'm out. I'm done. I am off the Trump train. I am not voting in 26. If Rubio or Vance are on the ticket in any form in 28, I'm voting for a Democrat.
Of course.
Say whatever you want. Do your worst. Hey, carpe donkdom.
Okay.
What a joke, dude. What a fucking
They're
joke.
all jokes right now. It's ridiculous.
So this is the guy too, though. This is the guy that's said now that he is gonna vote Democrat in the midterms and the 2028 election, encouraging his voters to not turn out or vote Democrat in the midterms and the 2028 elections. You remember just not too long ago he said that if Democrats win in 2028, he's gonna flee the country. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And these guys will follow him around with their thumb in their ass, claiming that everyone else is in a cult, and they're literally the same thing as the left, the same exact thing.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think we lost Dylan.
We did lose him.
That's wild.
Poor buddy.
He'd
It's
be
okay.
back.
He'll come back.
He'll come back indeed.
Fired.
Let's actually go over a couple of the really stupid things that he said, actually. You know?
Let's do it. All the stupid things he said.
So, buried the Epstein files. All right, first off, how long did Joe Biden's administration have these Epstein files?
How
Oh,
long
wait, it
did
was the entire time.
How long did
The whole
multiple administrations have?
Exactly.
Exactly. Obama,
So,
Obama?
buried?
Biden,
Bush.
Ridiculous.
Bush.
Bush had files on Epstein.
Of course.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I don't know what he's talking about with bury the Epstein files. Do we think that people are going to get arrested? Maybe. You got to get evidence. You can't just sit there and have one piece of evidence saying they did this or did that or one, fucked up photo and think you can get them on something. You got to have more evidence. And
Yeah.
that's going to play out over time. So, yeah, it's going to be a long time probably before we see any of these motherfucking evil pieces of shit locked up and then hopefully hung.
Will
All
be.
right.
And I also want to throw one more
And
thing
what
on
about-
top of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What's up, Rachel?
No, go. No. You go first.
I was just gonna say that on top of everything else about the Epstein files that clears Donald Trump's name, Bill Clinton did the same thing. Speaking to the House Oversight Committee, just for the record, he cleared Donald Trump's name as well.
Yeah. Well, he was one of the first whistleblowers
right.
against Epstein, so.
Yeah.
All right, there is no border wall. So, last I checked, Trump was working on building a border wall during his first term. What happened when we got to the second term? They completely stopped it. And what did the Joe Biden administration do?
They sold all the
off.
materials.
Yep, they sold it off for pennies on the dollar. So now what do we have to do? We have to get all those materials back. Do you think that's going to happen immediately?
No, it's not.
No.
I did hear that the company that bought them were working on getting them back to the Trump administration. I haven't heard anything about that in a while, but
We'll see.
I mean,
But-
and not just that, but illegal immigration has virtually stopped.
absolutely.
Like they closed down the border. And then you talk about bury the Epstein files. Like obviously we all want to see someone held accountable, all of us. And that's what he's playing to, is that emotional side. Because everyone feels like there's all this injustice done and nobody's being held accountable. Yes, absolutely. We all feel that. But at the same time, in the 13 months of Trump's administration, they have literally rescued over 140,000 sex trafficked kids. 140. So in 13 months. I just want to go back to
Hundreds,
that.
yeah, hundreds of traffickers, pedophiles taken off the streets and out of communities.
Yep.
Well, it's really just it blew up big, and it's just because people like Thomas Massey that have elections coming up. You're talking about a career politician, right? Conservatives hate career politicians, but these fake conservatives love Thomas Massey regardless, even though he's never accomplished shit for them. He needed something to make him popular, right? So he's doing everything he can with these Epstein files.
Oh, don't worry, Zach.
It's
We
gonna
got
get
more
worse.
for Thomas Massey later.
I can't wait.
All right, let's go this one. You didn't deliver on mass deportations. So last I checked, we're over 3 million deportations, and that was like 2.2 million self-deports, and then well over like 800,000, something like criminal deportation. Now, the first thing I want to mention is when it comes to mass deportations, Donald Trump has more judicial injunctions against the deportations than Biden, Bush, Obama, and Clinton all combined during all their terms.
Absolutely.
Secondly,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Secondly, all these other presidents were not dealing with consistent harassment and campaigns to block ICE from doing their jobs, including blocking local police forces from helping assist ICE in doing their jobs. Now,
Right.
if we were to sit there and take, like, we'll just say it was 3 million in 1 year's time, just 3 million, and we multiply that by 4 years, he's looking at 12 million. If the numbers hold, I think it'll be a lot easier when we get past all the criminals out of here and we're just starting to deport like tons of these communities. We get all these temporary protected statuses done. We get them all deported. So I think these numbers are actually going to climb and they're going to be much higher. Plus, I still believe we're hiring people as well to get more ICE agents out there to get more people out of the country. And that doesn't mean like you're not going to have consistent amounts of self-deportations, because that's going to keep happening. Because at some point, when we get past the criminals, we're going to be like, well, listen, this is your opportunity. This is your last opportunity to leave our country. Otherwise, when we deport you, you're not coming back. You don't get that
100%.
opportunity. You blew it.
A few things, though, like, their number one retort now, and this is how you can tell that these people are in bed with the left. That's where they came from. Their retort now is like, when you mention the 3 million deportations over the his first 12 months back in office, they say, oh, those numbers just came from Donald Trump's administration. They're way overinflated, right? That's their argument. I mean, these people argue just like the left does. They argue exactly like him. It doesn't matter. They will not show you facts because they don't have any. They just twist everything into their own fucked up version of however they want it to sound, and they deliver it that way. And you can call them out on it all day. It either ends with them going silent, or they block you, or whatever. They just start throwing personal attacks. But on top of that, how many deportations did Obama have?
God, I can't remember.
It's like 8 million.
I think it was less
Yes.
than that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Was it
we'll
8
say 8 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
at this
it's really
pace, Donald Trump's looking at 12 million deportations by the end of his term.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Now-
million.
Okay, so you're looking at 12 million by the end of his term at this pace here, and it's going to pick up. But
Yeah.
I had a guy argue. Just my last point on this. I had a guy argue with me
Yeah,
earlier.
cool. What's on your mind?
What is that?
I don't know. Sorry. My phone. Go ahead.
I had a guy argue with me earlier talking about how he voted for Trump 3 times. He'd vote for him again. He would be in there to vote for the GOP to keep control of the House and Senate if he didn't feel like he was getting fucked over. And something I'm noticing is these people have no idea how the government works. They have no fucking idea. They think that just because we got Donald Trump and JD Vance in office that we're good to go. And then they get let down. They feel this feeling of like, disappointment because nothing's happening the way we want it to. But they're gonna sit out in the midterms. They're not gonna show up in elections to replace these rogue fucking judges and everyone else. This is where the problem's really at. So like, get off your ass and contribute to actually fixing the problem, or shut the fuck up. One of the
The
two.
most unpatriotic thing you can do as an American is not vote. That's what I feel like.
You're
Plus,
absolutely right.
the left is holding out on funding DHS right now. So,
Of course.
these agents are working, without money in their bank accounts, surviving off whatever they had left before their last paycheck.
That's horrible. I mean, it's ridiculous. The only people that should not be getting paid is freaking Congress themselves. The fact that they actually still get to collect the paycheck is ridiculous. Like, you're the ones choosing not to do your job.
Yeah.
Like these other people, the military and stuff, like they can't choose not to do their job. Like we have people fighting overseas. Like I think they deserve their paycheck more than Congress does.
Yeah,
But like
exactly.
I also
They
wanna
want-
bring up what- Oh, go ahead, Rachel.
They want the chaos. That's what they want. They want the chaos. They want to handicap Trump as much as they possibly can, to make him look bad. And they don't care about families. They don't care who they harm in the way. It's all a means to an end. It's like, it's disgusting. And
Yeah,
we
they
have
say-
to vote. We have to vote in the midterms. We have to.
Every election, not just the midterms. I mean,
Not every election, even locally. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Zach.
this
Yeah.
is the thing that they say when Democrats get in, they can do everything that they said they were going to do in 2 seconds flat. It's because they've taken over every fucking institution, the justice system, and everything else. If you guys don't show up for state and local elections, nothing's going to change. I don't care if you put Nick Fuentes and the fucking Haji twins in the White House. Nothing's going to change.
Rachel also brought up another good point. Right now, the border is closed. It's zero. Zero of the people are coming across. All these other presidents that had deportations had millions coming through still. So it was essentially canceling it out.
That's right.
This is
No one thinks about
negative
that.
migration.
That's right. Very good, John.
So that's
Yeah, that's an
another thing
excellent
that
point.
a lot of people don't really talk about. So when Fuentes talks about he didn't deliver on mass deportation, he shut the frickin' border down. Like,
Yeah.
do you really want to vote in a Democrat that's going to open that border wide up, bring in the third world, bring in all these terrorist sleeper cells that are sitting here just like that fucking cunt that went there? Excuse my language. I'm a little agitated by this one. That went down in what was it in Texas, and then shot up an area. Because like Iran, Allah, I'm a property of Allah, blah blah blah. Like those were the people let in under Democrats.
Nick Fuentes is a Fed, dude.
Yeah. So don't
The
tell
only-
me like I'm gonna go vote Democrat. Like literally, this is the party of like LGBTQIA, child mutilation, child sex trafficking, just ignoring it because that's what Biden administration did. Oh, I don't know where 300,000 missing kids went. Oh well, shrug. Like, how could
Right.
you even vote for these people? All right. Before I get off into a tangent, let's get to the next one. You cut corporate tax rates for the rich by cutting Medicaid again. Well, first off, I don't believe in universal health care. I think that all it does is it breeds fraud, and it leads to insane insurance prices and insane medical care and ridiculous long wait times. The only people that should be getting Medicaid, honestly, disabled veterans and fully disabled people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medicare is for old people. There you go. Boom. Who cares? Plus, besides, we all know like what's happening with the Somali fraud care, with the autism centers and stuff in Minnesota. So go fuck yourself, Nick.
Yep.
I gotta stop cursing so much. This is
No,
unbelievable.
you said it perfectly. Go fuck yourself, Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, no infrastructure bill. This is the same guy that also complains that we're spending too much. So what do you want? Do you want us to spend money or not spend money? How about we balance the budget first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Trump does that first? I think that's what he's doing. My God.
It is.
No middle class tax cuts. Dear Zach, could you tell this poor man, this fool, where the middle class tax cuts were? What bill was that?
It's one that Thomas Massey voted no on, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
The big, beautiful,
beautiful
bill.
yeah. Thomas Massey said no, thank you, because he doesn't support closed borders and record deportations, right? Mm-hmm. Never has. The guy votes against border bills all the time.
And like, even if his position was, we spend too much money, I want smaller government, that's great, fine, and all dandy. But you can't just completely stop the system. If you stop the system, it has a complete another meltdown. Everything goes into absolute chaos. Then you have lawsuits out the wazoo. Like, there's like with all these judges out there that are corrupt as shit, they'll be suing nonstop. Like, it gets us nowhere. You have
Yeah.
to cut all this garbage piece by piece, which is what Trump is doing. Balance the budget, then slowly cut all the crap. Not only that, we're finding all the fraud. If we just shut down the whole system, are we going to find all the fraud? Are we going to get back the money that was stolen from us, the taxpayers? Probably not. So he needs, like, Thomas Massey needs to take a back seat and get the out of Congress. I'm going to start bleeping myself.
Oh, he's getting cooked. He's getting grilled. He's getting grilled in his election.
Get
No
the
chance.
out of Congress.
He has
You know what I'm
to.
saying?
He's absolutely getting cooked in his election. However, just to add to all that shit, one of the like most repeated lines that I see from these black pillars and these groypers is Donald Trump was supposed to drain the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely was, with your help, right? If you're not
Uncle
turning
Sam
out to
wants
vote,
you.
if you're not turning out to vote to help drain the swamp, then shut the fuck up about draining the swamp.
Amen.
Exactly.
We don't normally curse this much on this show. I told you I was going to be heated.
I do. They don't.
Yeah. Zach does.
Fuck 'em.
It's going to be heated tonight. It's going to be heated.
Dylan
All
does
right.
too.
Let's see. You have to.
Yeah.
The refund tariffs still on the table. Never expected them to get in the first place. So anybody that was expecting these tariff refunds, honestly, I wasn't expecting. I'd rather it go to our debt and we get our debt down.
too.
Would it be nice? Absolutely. Of course it'd be nice. Everybody needs a little extra boost right now, coming out of the Biden administration and record inflation and all that. But there's other avenues. Trump already proved that when the Supreme Court said no, they're like, well, I'm just going to do this act instead. And he has plenty of other avenues. Let the man cook. You've given him only 1 year. Let's give him all 4. And then last but not least, we're in a regime change war with Iran. Well, first off, I think we all know with Iran, which we'll get to a little bit later, they chanted death to America. They said they wanted to kill Donald Trump on multiple occasions. Listen, you might think it's all about Israel and stuff. It's not. There's a little bit here where it comes to freeing an oppressed society, getting rid of somebody that actually wants to destroy the United States, and then on top of that, helping out the Middle East. Because they're not, like, Iran's attacking everybody right now. They're attacking everybody.
Yeah.
And one last point. Think about this. During World War II, the Americans pretty much sat out for most of it. They maintained net neutrality. They said, all right, we'll help you with supplying arms. But other than that, we're not going to get involved in the war. What the heck happened to make us get involved in the war? Anybody know their history here? Little
Lay
thing
it on,
called
John.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, yeah.
That's
'Cause
right.
We were
Pearl Harbor
isolationists.
happened.
We didn't want to get involved, and then that's exactly what happened.
And
then
how big is
it was brought. Go ahead.
How big is the country, Japan? Not that big, right?
Not that big. No.
So tiny little country taking on the big, with a sleeping giant United States.
Hey,
This
Rachel,
is the same thing. You
you
can't
said
let Iran just sit back.
You said a very important word there. What was that? You said we were what?
Isolationist.
We were isolationist. That's the stance we took. We didn't want to get involved in any
Yeah.
in the war.
That's the
and
position.
because we weren't, because it was, and it's a weak position, and it's we have to
That's-
learn from history. We
that's
have
the position. That's the
It's
position.
ignorant.
Black pillars. Yeah.
They're gonna get attacked here. I'd rather it be there than it brought to our borders and brought to our land and have it fought here. I mean, have we not learned anything? And you guys are absolutely right on, but no one's also taking into account how big of a chess piece this is with China. Okay, in less
Right.
than 2 months, we took out China's biggest oil reserves, oil supplier. Okay, which is huge strategically for really positioning ourselves with China.
Absolutely.
So, and people don't realize that. Like, there's so many smart things about this. It just makes sense.
You know, one of my favorite things about the USA is how strong we are. You know, we're a country that is not to be fucked with, and the entire world knows it. This isolationist shit makes us weak as hell, and this is what black pillars like sit around and finger themselves to. You know what I mean? Just a weak ass America, and it's exhausting. I mean, they have no idea. They don't know history. They don't know. They can't comprehend how our own government works, let alone like the geopolitical parts of it. Right? They don't understand the outcomes.
Yeah.
They don't.
I mean, Calvin Coolidge, he was extremely isolationist back during, what was it, the 20s, and right before the Great Depression happened, because he just, you know, he wanted, it was right after World War One, and you know, he wanted to focus on America, but he did it the wrong way,
Yeah.
That's
and
right. Dylan.
you know, that led to the Great Depression, and then potentially Pearl Harbor down the road, because Japan was expanding at the time with the Chinese Civil War that was happening, and they were going into Manchuria and Eastern China, so they felt like they had big nuts. So that's why they did what they did.
Right. Right. They were emboldened.
Yep.
If you do not
Yeah.
set, we are the goal. People, I mean, we have enemies. Literally, they've been chanting "Death to America." We'll put that on the backside. But even economically, at a race for a superpower, to be economically, you know, the biggest superpower, and obviously, China and Russia is constantly, you know, gonna take advantage of any weak area that we have. They already have. You know, so we're now, it feels so good to finally be on the world stage and have a leader that's putting us back on the map with power.
Absolutely.
You
Yep.
know, it's why aren't we celebrating that?
These people, there's something deeper there though with these black
Of
pillars.
course.
It's I've been making these guys my bitch for like 3 days straight. It's something deeper than that though. Like after the personal attacks and you know all the like loaded questions that just always end up with them looking stupid. Like they started like supporting Islam, heavy as fuck to me. They love Islam, man. They fucking love Islam. So much so that they'll say that you hate the Constitution because you hate Islam.
What?
Yeah, because freedom of religion, right? It's that retarded. These black pillars are fucking retarded.
Yeah. They're so blinded by their lust
Yeah.
for Israel, like their death lust for Israel. They want to see Israel they're just so convinced that Israel is the problem to everything.
Yep.
That if we get rid of Israel, everything else will just, you know, magically fall into place. It's like you can't be that ignorant.
They are.
You know, I don't
If
see
you want to get
Judaism
Israel,
trying to.
vote them out. Vote out the people that are supporting Israel. You
Yeah.
want to get them out of our the influence out of our government.
Right. There you
vote,
go.
vote these people out. But
Yes.
to do that, you actually have to go out there and vote, and you have to go and get involved in your local elections. Local.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there and wait until the federal and state ones pop up. Local elections
Oh,
are
they
how
don't-
you
they
build
don't-
a base
Right.
so that they can take on the state. They can take on those federal positions. But if you just sit
Right.
there and think some miracle person is going to come along, it's extremely hard and extremely rare. Which is why this guy up here, I mean, we're gonna flip that rare moment, and we're gonna get him involved in that Senate spot.
Now, yeah, we are. But these people don't turn out in state elections either.
No,
They don't turn out in state. They barely show out in federal elections, and I guarantee you, most of them only vote for their, you know, senator or representative when they're voting on the presidential ballot, right?
yeah,
They don't turn out for shit. They just complain. That's all they do. They just complain.
yeah. And if you're in a deep blue state, you know the best way to expose the voter fraud is to have every single Republican and independent vote. If you're all voting and then suddenly there's more votes than registered voters, you know, they're going to have to do a little thing called an investigation then. But if you
Yeah.
just sit there and think like, oh, they're going to win anyway, who cares? My vote doesn't matter. then you're just giving them the numbers that they want in general to sit there and fool you into thinking that they're going to win. You have to sit there and show up and vote. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time bitching and moaning on the internet like Nick Fuentes does. The
Well-
least masculine man that's never held a real job in his life.
I think that's probably why John Thune is against the Save America Act and why so many
course.
Republicans are against it, because they know their voters don't turn out in elections. They're probably just as afraid of the outcome as Democrats are.
Yeah.
Which they should be.
Yeah.
They absolutely should be. You know, they haven't been doing their job. They haven't been doing what their constituents want, and we're sick of it.
Absolutely.
So they should be scared. How about start doing your job? How about start doing
happened?
what the people are asking you to do?
What happened to the Save America Act? Nobody's talking about it.
Of course, mass
You don't-
distraction now. They're happy about it.
You don't hear Thomas Massey talking about the Save America Act, or
Yep.
or any of these black pillars, or any of the Groypers, or anyone else. They never talk about America and how to fix it. They just talk about Israel or whatever.
Of course.
You know,
Of
I do
course.
have one last point. When it comes to Nick Fuentes, he's anti-feminist. Democrat Party is feminism. He's pro-life. Democrats are abortion.
He's pro-feminist or anti-feminist?
He's anti-feminist.
Okay.
All right. So he wants to vote for pretty much all of his ideology, the opposite. He sits there and he's like, "No, I'm going to vote for Democrats." So you're going to vote in your own
Oh, right.
destruction.
Right. I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, I know.
That
That's
makes
why
no sense.
it's disingenuous.
Yeah.
It
He's
just
not
it
even
just goes to
choosing the lesser of
show.
two evils.
No, it just goes to show. No. What that is, John, is it just goes to show that whatever he's claiming that he is, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he's saying that he is, for just to get the conservative base to follow him, and these young voters, these young male voters to follow him, and for clicks, he'll say whatever he. It's so true. All these influencers have rode the MAGA, wave to get popular, and now they're selling out and revealing all of their real colors.
Yeah.
Because that's just, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So he wants to vote
Absolutely.
Democrats.
If you
He wants to
truly
vote for
have
fraud.
those morals, right, if you truly have those convictions and those morals, you would never, ever say not to vote and say to vote for a Democrat. Ever. So you just
100%.
revealed yourself a complete pathological liar.
Yep.
Yeah, like if he was going to be like, "All right, I want to vote libertarian now," like that I can at least believe. But you're literally voting against all your own interests to vote Democrat.
Well,
Like
notice
look at what Virginia's doing with their tax increase, like bonanza. They were all like, all these Democrats were sold. Oh, it's going to be affordability for the middle class, and then Spanberger gets in there and she's like, "Nope, we're going to like start raising taxes on everything, dog walkers, ban gas blowers, so on and so forth." It's ridiculous.
Yeah, notice all those Groypers. They're like, they'll tell you that they're the biggest Christians, right? But they're gonna go vote for abortions and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
Right.
all the
They're
all the
fake
black
Christians, they're not
pillars,
Christians.
all the Groypers, all the black pillars. They're Ron DeSantis supporters that are still salty. They're never Trumpers. Every single one of them were never Trumpers.
Yeah. Let's get into a couple.
They're just exposing who they are.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
right, Dylan.
yeah, it's true.
They are.
So I thought it was pretty funny. Thomas Massey, he decided to put out a poll. Do you, the American people, think Congress should debate the objectives of war with Iran and vote on whether to wage war so the mission for our military is defined? No, trust the president, number one. He deleted the poll because
He
he
did this-
didn't get it.
He did this
No.
twice. Two polls. Yeah.
He had to double
Twice.
check it.
Yeah.
But then they also had the Haji twins and all those other fucking losers post the same exact poll, and every one of them got cooked.
Yep.
Yep.
And then, fun fact, guess
Oh,
who's
this is huge, y'all.
funding
That's dude.
Thomas Massey?
That is a great picture of Thomas Massey. He looks like that J6 or that protester from the left, right? The one that's like screaming with the glasses on.
Yep.
He looks like a-
I know what
79%.
you're talking about. That
He looks like a deranged liberal in that picture. That's what he is.
He is, yeah. And that 79% of Massey's donations came from Democrats in the 2025-2026 election cycle. That means only 21% came from conservatives.
That's crazy. to
Massey
me.
received 1.9 million from Democrat
So Democrats
donors and
and
PAC so far.
Republicans can work together behind the scenes.
No, that's not what that is. What that is saying, oh, I'm not getting any type of Democrat funding, and then getting it from conservatives, but the majority of what he's getting is from Democrats. Like this is what we have to scream from the rooftops. Is the actual facts and following the money. For him, first of all, it shouldn't even be allowed if you're running for a specific party to get any type of donations whatsoever from the opposing party. That's such a conflict of interest, and this is how our congressmen get compromised.
Yeah.
And so he is not a libertarian. Okay, he's not a conservative. He's not a libertarian. Not when you're taking money, almost 80% from the Democrats. Like that's insane. So don't
He's
call
been-
yourself a conservative because you're not.
100%. He's been so antsy to vote Democrat, to jump the line and vote with them, support them and shit that they do. And this guy will not support President Trump. He fucking refuses to. And he will find the littlest detail in any fucking bill to use as an excuse as to why he didn't support Trump's agenda. These people,
Because he's obviously a Democrat.
100%.
His soul, he has gave it to the Democratic Party. He is no longer for us. So he's going to do whatever he can with his power, which he has now, okay, to put a stop to our agenda and his constituents' agenda. And most of that funding, y'all, isn't even coming from his state.
No.
It's coming from out of his state,
Yeah.
Kentucky.
And
A
when
It's not
tax-
coming
vast,
from
vast
Kentucky.
majority.
The vast majority of it. It's ridiculous,
from Democrats out of his state.
right?
That's crazy.
He cares
This
more
isn't-
about
this
his
is-
position of power.
This
than his
isn't
principle.
opinions. This is literally follow the money. This is fact.
And if you
It's-
couldn't hate the man more, he recently received an award from a
Oh.
institute created by George Soros and Charles Koch. That's right. In 2019, George Soros and Charles Koch joined forces to form the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft. This think tank has an annual award ceremony, and the two people that got the award, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna.
Dude, those guys have a relationship going on, I think.
Yes.
They,
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it at that. Those guys are cute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But any link to George Soros in that capacity, like, I wouldn't even accept the award. I'd tell him to go shove it up his ass.
Of
But no, he went
course.
over there and he accepted that award.
That's disgusting. Guys, we need to wake up. We need to scream this from the rooftops. What you're feeling about Massey, how you see that he's, and he's doing it from this self-righteous standpoint. That's how he's painting it. That's not what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay? He's just trying to thwart us.
Now, before we get into the wonderful discussion of Iran, which we're not gonna be too long. I'm sure everybody's already talked about it to like the 20th degree, but there is something that I want to bring up first, and that is this little bad boy. So every U.S. president since 1973 War Powers Resolution has initiated military actions without explicit prior congressional approval, totaling over 125 instances where presidents acted without formal authorization, while Congress hasn't formally declared war since 1942. Presidents frequently use statutory authorization loopholes such as the 2001-2002 AUMFs or rely on Article 2 Commander-in-Chief powers to launch strikes. And there's plenty of examples. Sent troops to Korea in 1950 without declaration of war. Then you conducted the Vietnam War using and often exceeding the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, invaded Grenada, invaded Panama, Somalia, so on and so forth. Barack Obama dropped, 30,000 bombs in Libya. So
Yep.
please, bitch, please. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obama dropped all the bombs.
I don't want to hear about Congress this, Congress that. Oh, Trump can't do this. Like, y'all been saying that since 1942.
Yeah. Was it Nancy Pelosi? Like, I remember her going on the floor and defending that he didn't, that was it Obama or Biden? I think it was Obama.
Said
defending that they
O'Biden.
didn't have to get. It was O'Biden.
O'Biden?
That's
I
that
mean, it's
whole.
pretty
That's the
much
whole
true.
thing. Seriously,
That's true. Yeah.
I call him. It's like the.
Sorry, I
I
didn't-
call
I
it
ain't
the
gonna cut you.
O'Biden. No, it's great. It's the
That's fine.
O'Biden era, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Obama was a
Oh,
bomb dropping
Biden.
motherfucker. O'Biden.
O'Biden
That guy
was
didn't
too.
even. He didn't even know
No.
what was going on.
It
I
was-
think they just shoved him in a closet with fucking ice cream cones.
Of course they did. Poor buddy was drugged the whole time. He's probably less drugged now.
You almost feel bad for the guy, right? I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
fuck America up. Everybody else did.
Yeah, they just used his corpse to do it.
But at least he had that good old relationship with Corn Pop. And then the kids touching the water on his legs to make the hair stand up.
So right now, we're at fuck Nick Fuentes, fuck Groypers, fuck Thomas Massey, fuck Thomas Massey fangirls. Let's keep going.
All right.
I'm here
Pete
for this.
Hegstad. He's,
Fuck 'em
he's
all.
shutting down the endless war narrative. What do you got to say, Mr. Pete?
To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars. Stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes. Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners, as we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force. America,
There you go, Mr. Hegstad.
Can I just say something?
Of course
I
you
want him
can.
to be president. I think he's gonna be president one day.
Maybe.
Watch.
You know what I like about Pete
I think he
Hegstad
could run.
is,
I like
is
him.
that he was a veteran.
Right.
He was a combat veteran. He was out there. And having him in that position, you know what that tells all the, like, having Donald Trump in his position and being able to succeed and do all the stuff that these politicians have been saying that we're trying to do or that can't be done for decades. You know, it sends a signal out to the rest of the United States that you don't need career politicians to get the job done.
And
You
that's
can
the
pick
message.
anybody up that cares about this country and they'll figure it out and they'll actually get it done. They're terrified of that because they know the moment that Donald Trump completely succeeds, it destroys their entire fraud scheme government that they built for decades.
Yep.
You know, as soon as. Go ahead, Rachel.
I was gonna do a plug for you.
I was just gonna say, as soon as we get to this point, right, in time where these people are being exposed, people are like noticing rhinos more and more every day, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the time where cleaning the swamp becomes real. This is when we get out and we vote. We educate ourselves on candidates. We spread the word, right? We blow these people up. We get the candidates that we want at the top of the damn ticket. And that's how we drain the swamp. But these people are talking about not voting right when it's time to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
So, you know, Trump put you where you need to be to drain the swamp. And now you're not going to finish the job.
It's good. Like basically, he allowed everybody to be revealed.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know where everyone stands now, so it's
I'm starting-
it's up to us to vote them out.
And I'm starting to understand why he said fuck all these influencers during the Epstein file thing, because they all suck. Dude, 99.99% of these influencers are just fucking garbage, man.
Doesn't it make you miss Charlie Kirk so bad?
He was the only voice we had on this side from
Only
that
one.
standpoint. I know we have some badass people on this side, but the majority of the influencers for MAGA are the fakest fucking thing that's alive.
It's true. It's true. What do you think, Dylan?
I think it all goes back to the money with these people that basically just grift nonstop. They always counter signal Trump to advance their own agenda, whether that be for dollars or political clout. And I think the American people are starting to notice that, and I think we have a good opportunity to do the right thing this time around, and if we let it slip through our hands, that's on us.
That's
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. I mean, this is it. Like, you guys give Democrats back the power, your country, you'll never recognize it again. Never.
I think us that are on X, this is where we do have the advantage. We understand, we see, what's going on. We see the psyop or whatever, the strategy in trying to keep us away from voting for midterms and voting, locally, like we have no power when we do. I think what we need to do is tell all of our friends that aren't on X, everyone in our communities, our families, our parents, our sisters, everyone that's at voting age, that the midterms and their local elections are just as important as the presidential election.
They're more important.
More,
important.
yes, I would. I think they're just as important.
This is why Democrats don't care if they win presidential elections. They don't.
Yeah.
They really don't care because
Yeah.
they know how to get voters turnout for midterms. They know how to get majorities in the House and Senate. They know how to get their voters turned out for state and local elections. They know how to take over every single institution, the justice system, everything. They don't give a shit who's in the White House because they still have all the power, and you're seeing that right now.
Right?
Yep. It's funny though. There are a few Democrats that actually support Trump's war on Iraq.
Thank God we
Right.
have Fetterman.
It's not just Fetterman.
Okay.
So, but we will start with the good man, one of my state senators. Trump has been willing to do what's right and necessary to produce real peace in the region. He called the strikes entirely appropriate and targeted the toxic regime, not the Iranian people. Rep. Don Davis from North Carolina. Trump is doing what's right and necessary to end terrorism and stand with our allies. Rep. Greg Landsman, Ohio. The U.S. is destroying Iran's missiles and bombs to stop them from taking more lives. These are precision hits on military targets with warnings to civilians. No more regime mayhem. That's right. He's got some support from Democrats. Maybe these Democrats are finally waking up and saying, maybe this is the opportunity to finally do what I came here to do in office instead of getting caught up in the giant scheme of playing politics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's not to support? I get it. Like, we don't want to be in a war. I understand that.
No. Yeah.
We don't want American soldiers to be in
No
harm's
one wants
way
that.
to get killed or get injured.
Right.
But dude, look, if we can go liberate people from a fucking terrorist regime that chants death to America all the time, let's do it. I mean, that's what we're here for. That's why we're the strongest country in the world. That's why people look to us
Yeah.
when they need hope. So, like, if we're capable of that, why not do it? What's not to
Yeah.
support?
They killed over 40,000 people in
Especially
the
whenever
last. Go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
was-
killed
I was
over
about to say
40,000
what you was gonna
people.
say.
Were you okay? You say it. I don't need to say it. You say it.
I think he's got a delay going on.
Okay.
No, no. I just think it's, they killed 40 to 50,000 people, and the people are sitting there calling, for the U.S. to do something, and I think the United States heard that whenever they were calling out because, we all know what's going on. It's fucked up over there, and that's why the Ayatollah no longer exists.
Rachel posted
And,
something.
if his son takes over, I hope he repents and turns to the Lord. Is all I got to say.
Rachel posted something today or yesterday. It's one of the coolest things I've seen. That. What did that say, Rachel?
Which one? What are you talking about?
Essentially, it was like more
Was it?
More- Iranians or something support Trump in America more than Democrats do at this point.
Yep. More Iranians support America than Democrats. Let this sink in.
It's crazy.
And
mean,
don't
how
you
sick
find
is
it
that?
odd
Who's
that
the
like,
real?
the Democrats
Right.
constantly are in the streets saying human rights, I'm being violated, we all have a right to live. So why do Iranians not get that right? when they're being held under a terrorist regime.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many things, y'all. There's so many things about it. And we'll talk, I think, a little bit about the feminism, but even feminists that are like against this, against, and the oppression on women alone over there. It's just insane that it's so hypocritical. And you can see that their convictions are so shallow. There's no depth to them. Because if they really cared about women, they would be about this. And they would be celebrating with millions of women that are finally free. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
It is. I don't know why Nick Fuentes and fucking Hodge twins, right? I don't know why these people even support Islam so much. Like, they get pushed off a roof over there.
They have to be
Dylan?
getting paid. They have to be getting paid.
Yeah. Nobody caught that?
Yeah, because they're gay.
What'd you have to
Everyone
say,
Josh?
caught that.
I was also going to bring up the fact of what Milo Yiannopoulos said. He basically told the Trump administration to fuck off, and
Yeah, fuck
which
it.
I don't understand. Him being one of the old school provocateurs. Whenever I was in high school, watching him online, he seems kind of washed now. But what I'm trying to get at is, I don't see why he wouldn't be in favor of what's going on over there with the way that he's talked about, jihad and everything like that in the past at some of his older college campus debates.
Milo is not a provocateur. He's nothing more than a big dumbass attention whore. That's all that guy
Yeah.
is. He just screams for attention. He will say anything for attention. That dude, I fucking muted him as soon as I found out who he was. I looked at like one video and I was like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Like, I don't know what's happened to I don't know if it's narcissism that makes them think that they're like gods, that they have like all this. They don't have, and this is one thing I'll give Dan Bongino for, because he's right. He said it's so arrogant to think that you have more information than the Trump administration,
Right.
and that better, than the Trump administration. They cannot tell us everything. They can't. For our own safety, for their safety. It's like, how, as an adult, as a rational adult, this is not sticking up for Trump blindly. There's a lot of things I have questions on, a couple things that I have some questions on that I'm like, I don't understand that. I'm gonna let that play out and see if that's, but this makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, and
And
most
he's shown
things-
himself faithful. Yes, he got rid of ISIS. Without barely losing any life. I don't even think we lost completely got rid of ISIS. What went down in Venezuela was nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, it's something to be so proud of.
Yeah.
He's earned our trust with this. What, it's
He's
been a couple
earned our-
days?
He's earned our trust
like
with
it's
most
not.
things.
Yes.
Really, I mean, everything. You've never seen that guy fail at anything.
No.
Not a single fucking thing he's failed at. Every single time it starts going south, he's already 5 steps ahead on plan B.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy doesn't fail.
No.
I mean,
You
with the
gotta
tariffs,
remember
I
during
think he's
his
been doing
first term.
amazing. Go ahead.
During his first term, he wiped out the ISIL Caliphate with 6 weeks. The
right.
territory that they had controlled within Syria, Jordan, and Iraq. So, if it's less than 6 weeks, that this is going to be even better, because this is the number one enemy of America in the Middle East.
Yep.
He also did
You're
the
right.
Abraham Accords too, then, didn't he?
That's right.
That was a
Yes.
big deal.
Yeah, the
Huge.
Abraham
Forget about
Accords.
that.
That's why all of these Arab countries are
Back.
willing to step up to the plate to help
Yeah.
do what needs to be
Right.
Yep.
Right.
quick,
Which is
real quick.
huge.
Did I see that Qatar carried out attacks on Iran?
I don't
Just
know.
a
I
little
didn't
bit
see
ago.
that.
It's
Somebody
hard to
might
tell
look that up.
because Iran's attacking
I'm gonna look that
everybody
up.
right now.
Tucker Carlson, he's gonna have a
Qatarlson.
come apart. Qatarlson, he's gonna have a come apart. But I did read that Qatar has carried out
He's gonna
strikes on Iraq.
fucking lose it.
He's already fucking lost it. That dude is insane, man.
Yeah.
So there is one more thing that we did on a previous podcast when we were discussing the Iranian potential attack, like about a month and a half ago, is the amount of terror regimes that is funded by Iran. And once again, I just want everybody to take a quick look in here. That's just a small list, but it's 19, 19
crazy.
different terror groups that go around and kill people. And Iran was funding like I think $1 billion a year, if I remember correctly. And you're telling me it's not a good idea to completely shut down this crazy thing? Because, like I said, if you think about Pearl Harbor, we sat back and we said, we're not going to get involved. We're not going to get involved. Here's some arms that you guys can use during the war. And then we got hit. If we're going to sit back and let these terror regimes grow, what kind of damage could they do if Iran did get nuclear capable weapons and created dirty bombs and then just gave it to these terror regimes to go around, or like, terror organizations, I don't know why I call them regimes, and then let these terror organizations go around and plant these bombs? I mean, we already know they're in the United States. We constantly have to deal with the insanity of radical Islam here because of the open border. So I believe that getting ahead of it before it gets far worse than what it could be is a wise decision.
It's very
Regardless of Israel, regardless of whatever oil implications there are, I think getting ahead of evil is a good idea, especially one that says death to America for like probably 2-3 decades now, and wants to kill our president. So I think it was the right move.
Yeah, and I just want to make something clear. We don't like cuck for Israel over here, okay? I don't know why they have it in their heads that we're so pro-Israel and Israel first. I could give a fuck less about Israel or anyone else, right? I'm obsessed with the United States of America. I don't understand where this whole Israel first thing comes from. These people that say they're America first, all they do all day long is they talk about Israel until they lay down to go to bed, and they think about Israel until they fall asleep, and then they wake up in the middle of the night screaming Israel. And then they just get on social media and talk about Israel until they wake up and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. You can't be America first and be that obsessed with another country. Mm-hmm. I don't care about Israel. I had one of these clowns on, trying to like @Grok me to bring up my content to prove that I was Israel first, and Grok cooked the shit out of him on my behalf. That guy learned what America first really looks like, and it's fucking embarrassing to watch these people. A year ago it was the left. I haven't argued with a fucking Democrat on X in a year. But it was all the same shit. They'd say every single thing that these black pillars say to you right now is exactly what the left would say to you in any argument. It tells me that these black pillars and these liberals are working side by side to try to take us down.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
No. So Qatar has not. They have just shot down missiles that were directed towards them.
I don't remember who I
Iran.
read that from, but I did see it earlier.
I think Saudi Arabia is getting ready to do an attack.
Yeah, Qatar has just shot down Iranian threats.
And you know why
Like
Trump has his
system bombs
support
towards
is because he went around to these Middle Eastern countries.
Yeah.
And he started talking to them, and there's investments involved. And while I'm not a huge fan of Islam in general, I can still respect that if you have your country and you remain peaceful, do what you want in your country. I don't care. But if you're sitting there and saying death to America, funding terror regimes that kill all these people all over the world, including U.S. citizens, U.S. soldiers, merchant vessels, I'm going to be like, yo, get them out. Get them out.
Yeah, I mean, you can terrorize your own country all you want.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Go be Islam, push people off roofs, terrorize your own country. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just stop fucking talking about my country. Stop trying to terrorize my country. Right? I mean, just calm down. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Smoke some weed or something.
We have an oath for all enemies,
And-
foreign and domestic. So foreign and domestic.
A lot of people forget the domestic part too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Congress.
And
Excuse me.
another thing, yeah, Trump's first foreign visit was to Saudi Arabia in May of 2017. Whenever it was his first term, so that should show the signal that's out there right now.
Right. It's really good. I think, honestly, guys, he's able, and it's not. This is what people don't get. Like, Trump can't do it by himself. He can't do everything that we are mandating, that he's even mandating by himself. He's tried. It's Congress that's holding him up. It's these rogue judges. He's literally able to get more done on a geopolitical standpoint than he even is in America because of the Democrats.
Good point.
Because of the deep state, because of the swamp. He is so, everything he does, he gets faced with an injunctions. Like, I think we talked about this. Like, you talked about this, John. You know, and on the world stage, he's kicking ass because guess what? He's actually able to do what he can do without being, you know, told no. And he's
Yeah.
doing a phenomenal job. I trust him. He's doing incredible. Once it starts to turn into a forever war, you know, that's a different story.
Exactly.
But it's not there
If we're-
yet. It's been a
if we're
couple
talking
days.
about it in March of 2028, you know,
There we
that's
go.
where we start asking.
There we
questions.
go.
I would even say
It's like
March
even-
of next year,
Yeah,
which I have
Yeah,
full faith
March
that
of
we won't
27.
be.
yeah,
Because
I think it'll
anytime-
be done before July 4th.
I do too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I do too.
Because anytime they try to pick a leader that's more extreme than the Ayatollah that's been deceased, he's just gonna bomb him.
Well, I seen
His
the
son.
guy's son. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's more extreme than his father. From what
Oh, I'm
I've
sure, and
read.
he'll get fucking cooked next.
Yep.
I know.
It's over.
Yep. Until
They have nowhere
thing
left to hide.
Not talking about either is the fact that the Iranian people have been uprising and they're gonna like work to take their country back.
They
They
are.
should. They should already
They
be
are.
doing it.
I think that they've had a taste of it. I'm sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying they should already be doing it, like working right now
Yeah,
while that
they
guy's
are.
not in power to be ready.
Right. Yeah. You know, like you even had his son. I don't know the son's name, but even the Iranian people are so emboldened now that they're even in the streets chanting death to whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Like
know.
in the streets, like I don't care. Like like they're so emboldened and they've had a taste of freedom, and they are not going to go back to that.
Nope.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
And Rachel, before we
Thank-
get
yes,
into our
John.
next topic, plug.
Yeah, go for it. You're the
Oh no,
good
no,
one.
you said
You're-
you wanted to. I'm letting you take
Okay.
the reign.
Sure. We have Zach McClanahan. He is running for the Senate in Illinois. See, I suck at this, John. I don't like to be. No. You do it.
All right.
I'm a hype man. Like, I'm not the main one.
Oh, so I'm the guy.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
the guy.
yeah. Yep.
So the gentleman, Zach here, aka him, is running for Senate. Zach McClanahan. You can check him out on X at Zach4IL. Leads has a link in there to his campaign website. And the reason why it's important we get people like Zach into office is that he is not your Joe Blow politician. He didn't sit there and grow up in politics. He didn't sit there and get, his ass fan tell him how great his speech was. Now, he was a blue-collar worker, did oil field work, contractor work. He's still working his butt off today. But he wants to make this country better, not only for you, for me, but for his kids. And he wants to make sure that they're going to have a future of freedom still. Because if he doesn't get in that office and we keep letting those crazy Democrats like Tammy Duckworth stay in there, I'm telling you, it's going to be harder and harder to actually build the country that we want. If we do not get out there and vote for blue-collar patriots instead of politicians that care more about making money than actually representing their constituents, we're cooked. We're cooked as a country. And this is the time. Right now is the time to get out there and change the Republican Party to the American Party. As
Yeah,
in,
buddy.
we're going to get our country back on track to what it used to be.
Yeah, buddy.
I agree.
And this is the time. Right now is the time to get out there and change the Republican Party to the American Party. As in, we're going to get our country back on track to what it used to be.
100%. 100%. 100%. Thank you, John. See, I could never have done that.
You
Yeah, it just comes out of my head like
No.
nowhere. I'm just
It's
reading a
so
script in
good.
my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, we're seeing like I said earlier, we're seeing all these people talking about sitting out in these elections coming up as if conservative voter turnout isn't already bad enough. And this is how we drain the swamp, guys. This is how we drain the swamp. You should be educating yourself on every candidate in any election that you can vote in
Yep.
and spreading the word about the right one. You know, I'm not like these other people. I'm not just anti-APAC. I'm anti all PACs.
Yeah.
I don't like PACs at all, and I think people should really be looking for these candidates that just aren't accepting money from them. Real grassroots candidates.
Yep.
Blow them up. This is a problem with your favorite influencers. Is they don't blow up the right candidates.
Yeah.
They don't blow up any candidate. But,
Yeah. Can I?
you know.
Yes,
ahead,
Dylan.
It's like that Senate race. That Senate race that's going on down in Texas, where the GOP spent $70 million for John Cornyn against Ken Paxton.
Yeah. Ken Paxton's
It's like
looking
that's
good in the polls.
you, like think about that $70 million in some of the other states that are, you know, that could have used $10 million in one of their races to be able to flip it, a U.S. Senate seat, not just a state Senate seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at the wrong live chat. So I just see that Intellect Vault, and we have Mike B and Salty Patriot. Hi, guys. Salty Patriot said the Iranian people have been rising up since June of last year. So beautiful.
No, I agree.
And she said, vet those candidates. Influencers are shit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
You know,
They're such a disappointment.
you don't see them talking about, hey guys, you know, this is a problem. This is a big issue. This is how we're going to fix this issue. Let's save our country and let's get the corruption the fuck out of our government, right?
Yeah.
You don't see them saying that shit. All they say is, fuck Israel, fuck Zionists, like whatever shit they say. I
Trump.
don't know.
I know.
You know, that's why I think I connect with people so well. I'm a little all over the place, of course, but I do a lot to try to inform people about as much as I can. I push candidates whenever I see a good candidate, and these influencers just don't do that shit. The shit they should be doing, they're far away from it.
Yep.
And they're just sowing division every day. And with that being said, too, I just seen today that Daniel Keenan got all of his shit locked in, and he is on the ballot in Arizona.
Yeah.
DK
Come on,
for
Daniel.
Congress, baby.
Yes.
Which is why it's really
Arizona's
at
important to vote
CD5.
your primaries too.
5.
Do not sit there
Yes.
and wait until election day. You get out and vote in the primaries because
Yes,
that's
sir.
the only way you're going to get the candidate that you want.
Primaries are so important. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The primary I feel like is more important than the general election, because if you don't pay attention
Yeah.
to who's running in the primary, then
You're just gonna
what
do
are
it
you-
right
what
now.
are you even doing
Yeah.
at the general election?
I agree. You're absolutely right. And Dylan himself is getting involved in his local election for mayor. He's up here for me.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
In Tennessee.
I'm over to
You want
the
to share?
right of.
You want to share a little bit, Dylan, about yourself and just your motivation to run and what the office you're running for?
Yeah, so I'm from Tennessee, lived in a few different states from 18 to 25, but now I'm back. I'm going to be running for mayor in my hometown in Milan, Tennessee.
All right.
Play on Milan, like Italy. But yeah, I want to get involved. It's going to be coming up in 2028, the same year as Zach running for his Senate seat. And, you know, I want to be able to help my local community out first, and be able to, you know, try to bring about some good change, bring about some fresh blood into the scene, because I don't know if you guys ever go to local town halls or
Yeah.
city council meetings, but it's boomers everywhere.
Everywhere,
Nothing
yeah.
against them, but like at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be the ones that are coming into leadership within the next 10 to 20 years. So
Absolutely.
we got to start getting it figured out. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country left because people at the local level let it fall.
Yep.
And
Absolutely
and
right.
no office is bad or too small, right? Get in any office you can get into.
Yeah.
You know, I only went for U.S. Senate because my district is super Republican, right? Like everything around here is red. Everything's Republican. My representative is a Trump endorsed Republican. We have two shit ass Democrat senators in Illinois. One of them is retiring, thank God. Couldn't happen soon enough. I didn't feel like I was quite ready for a 2026
No.
elections. I got a name to build and shit like that, so I went with 2028.
Yeah.
But no office is too small. We need to take all of them. We need to do what the Democrats did. Think of that long game, the big game. Get in any office you can get and flip everything.
We gotta-
flip it on its head.
We got to backfill. We got to backfill conservatives into these county level
So true.
administration jobs.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. I want to say, I want to give a shout out to Ethan Kelly. He's also, he's on one of our chats, and he says all PACs must be abolished. And then Salty said, along with lobbyists, amen. He also said primaries are the way to hold your party accountable. He said, get him, Dylan. Don't be like Nick Fuentes and try and boycott the election and vote for Democrats to punish the GOP.
No.
So thanks for watching,
Uh,
Ethan.
Ethan is
It's like,
actually looking
in
to
the-
run.
in
I was
for-
about to say, I think he's running as well.
He's
Good.
looking to
Keep it
run in the
going.
next 4 to 8 years. So
Yeah, come on, Ethan.
Keep encouraging
Good.
people to run. I'm going
Yes.
for
on.
HHS after RFK Jr. finishes up his work. I'm going to come in there and continue his work. So that's
Yeah.
my goal, would be 2029, unless he plans on staying in there with JD Vance.
Yeah. Wives,
Then I'll have to wait
support
a
your
little bit longer.
husbands. Tell them to run. Tell them you'll help them. Or you run yourself. Come on.
All right, moving
do
along.
this.
We're going to talk a little bit about feminism. Not much, because I don't want to get too crazy, because I could spend probably like 10 days of 24-hour podcasts talking about feminism. But Rachel Wilson was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and we have about a 5-minute clip here that we're going to break up, because I think it's important in this context. They are talking about women and how it affected the workplace and so on. So here we go.
Isn't there also a practical consideration for a lot of people because the cost of living is very different now than it was, like, say, in the 1950s or the 1960s? It's very difficult for a
Yeah.
lot of people to get by on one income.
Yes, it is. But have you ever asked why that is?
I have, but I'd love to hear you talk about it.
So prior to the 1970s, we had 5% of mothers with school-age kids working outside the home. And for all of human history, even during the Industrial Revolution, 17, 18, 1900s, like you said, in the 40s and 50s, you could be a janitor and support a family and have 4 kids on one income. And something shifted in the 1970s, and it's never shifted back. So it can't be like how the stock market's doing. It can't really be like all these other independent economic factors that have shifted and changed and been so different over the course of the last 50 years. The one big thing that we changed is we pushed women into college and into the workforce. And by the 1980s, they were on par with men in workforce participation. So in the span of about 20 years, we almost doubled the labor force by pushing all the women in, and men's wages have never recovered. So now you are stuck in a 2-income trap where even women who want to stay home and even dads who would love to have their wife home with their kids, it's really tough.
So why did women entering the workforce keep men's wages stable or keep them from going up along with the inflation?
It really fundamentally changed the economy. I have a friend named Aaron Clary who wrote a book about this. It's an analysis of what he calls a female-based economy, where it's more consumer-driven. Women are like responsible for 80% of consumer spending. And now that they're all educated and in the job market, we have a lot more of things like HR departments, psychology, sociology. The economy shifted away from being like manufacturing and production and more male-dominated things to we have all these women coming out of university, and what do they get degrees in? I think 80% of psychology degrees are earned by women.
All right, I just want to pause it right there, take a little break, and discuss what we've heard so far. Now, one of the things that I do want to mention is that she said that people that were janitors and other physical labor jobs could actually sit there and afford to take care of their families. How many people working in this country today can barely afford to take care of just themselves?
It's got to be a small number. I know that for a lot of people, like the salary that you see yourself, usually is probably pretty high compared to a lot of people in the country. Because a lot of the times I see people talk about like affordability, and I don't know, it just seems like a lot of people in this country are making like wages that are just absolutely disgusting. I've just been thinking about this a lot lately, and I don't. It's bad.
It's destroying everything. I think. Are you going to show more, John?
Oh, yeah. No, I just
Okay,
wanted
I'm going to wait
say,
till you show more.
As
Yeah.
of late 2025, the U.S. median household income in 2024 was approximately $83,730. When the median represents the middle point, the average U.S. household income is higher, estimated at roughly 121 to 144, due to the influence of top income earners.
See,
So I
I
mean,
think-
single person, median by size is 42,000. Two person, 90,000. Four person, 125,000.
I mean, 90,000 for a two-person's. It's not great. Solid.
But think about the taxes that you pay off of that compared to before this, when taxes were much, much lower.
I think the problem is state by state.
Oh, of course.
Compared to before this, you get killed with these state taxes. That just tear you up, man. So like someone making 92,000, even here in Southern Illinois, you know what I mean? They're doing way better than someone making 92,000 in Gavin Newsom's California. So, it's a tough thing to really talk about, honestly. Just how different everything is all across the country,
And let me add a little bit more. As of late 2025, I love this approximately 24 to 67%. That's not really approximate. Of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, depending on the study's definition of the term. A Bank of America Institute report finds nearly 1 in 4 households spend over 95% of their income on necessities. Other studies suggest up to 64 to 67% of Americans feel they are living in this survival mode. Now, I'll probably say
So sad.
it's somewhere in between. It's probably in like the 40% range, maybe a little less. But like if we have a household with 2 incomes, we're still living close to paycheck, that's not right compared to like before the feminist boom, where you had just one household income earner and they were able to survive and support a whole family.
Well, you look too. I mean, you're talking about childcare. When you get 2 people in a household working, if they have kids, I mean that'll rob your fucking salary dry.
Oh my God, that is the perfect segue into this next part.
Sweet.
I want to wait. Till it's all. Till you
Here we
show it.
go.
This is so good, guys.
And
So
then,
good.
despite all our efforts to push women into STEM, there's still like maybe 20% of STEM degrees. So we have all these very educated women, and we have a lot of kind of fluffy jobs like office jobs, HR jobs, social media managers. And mostly women do a lot of the same things they used to do in the home. So they're nurses, they're early childhood educators, they're retail workers, they're cooks, they're housekeepers. They're doing a lot of the stuff they used to do, which the Marxist feminists called unpaid labor, right? This is the myth of women's unpaid labor. So instead of cleaning your own house, educating your own children, cooking meals for your family, maybe for your parents or grandparents who can't cook for themselves, all the things we used to do for our own family, clerical work, bookkeeping for your husband's business, things like that. We're doing those things for corporations. So that, and this was kind of by design. A lot of the book is about the fact that there were people who pushed feminism, and it wasn't because women were oppressed and they cared about the position of women necessarily. It's because the same people who pushed, the 19th Amendment and pushed progressivism and feminism were the same people who drafted the Federal Reserve legislation, came up with the income tax, came up with the compulsory education system. And especially on the Marxist side, they pushed feminism because they said if we can push mothers and women into the workforce and we double the workforce, workers of the world unite. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have this huge workforce, and through the university systems, we can kind of propagandize the young women to be socialists and to be Marxists, because they kind of tend that way anyway. The way that women's brains work is very like communitarian for a reason. We're moms, Yep. So it's very easy to radicalize. And this isn't my opinion. Like I go over in the book how you can just read the writings of these people and they tell you. August Babel, Alexandra Kollontai, Margaret Fuller, like all these early 1800s writers were saying, we need to get women away from the home and away from being mothers and push them into the workplace, because then we can politicize them. We can motivate them into becoming revolutionaries. And that's how we'll get the numbers to make this work.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, instead of staying home with your kids and doing all these things for your family, for your community, you're doing them for a corporation, and you're paying income tax. You're paying all the other taxes associated with having to work outside the home, gas tax because you're driving back and forth to work, payroll taxes, all that kind of stuff. And you are away from your kids all day. Where do they go? They go to public schools, where the public school system then can dictate to them what the values should be, how, what the worldview should be instead of the parents.
It's crazy.
Isn't it?
Absolutely crazy. And like, that's the thing. It's destroying the children too. There's so many things, man. So many things that are just absolutely torched and destroyed because of this.
Yes, I'm gonna say this. Intellect Vault, you are so right on. Also, scholarships go towards these fields rather than crucial fields. For instance, shortages happen because the cost to get into the field is hefty. The social degree PhD can get through with scholarships, while others struggle to fund their education to actually contribute. Isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Good take. It's so sad. It's so sad. And that was such an incredible podcast. That was such an incredible interview. She also touched on just the the emotional just the impact that it has on women, and what we walk through as far as being sold this lie that you can do it all. You can't. I've done it. I've had, I've homeschooled my kids, and then there was a time that I had to go back to work full time and work on our business. And it happens, life happens. And this lie that says that you can do everything, you end up not doing anything very well. Or if you're doing work very well, you're dropping balls at home. And that's just the reality of it. We weren't designed to put that much on us. We were told that we can do it all. We're expected to do it all. We're told that this is empowerment, when in actuality, it's a complete lie. We're left exhausted. Our nervous system is fried. We constantly battle shame and frustration because we think that we have to achieve something that's not even achievable. And it leads to, so much heartache and pain for women that just want to, be faithful wives and moms, but then also we feel like an obligation to contribute. Sometimes we have to contribute because of the whole feminist movement, so it's so sad. And I love Rachel Wilson and what she's doing. I think that there needs to be a bigger campaign of the older women educating the younger ones, because she's absolutely right. You know, this was by design. There was no grassroots women. There were no grassroots like women organization that came and said that we're, you know, under oppression. This all came from elitist and socialist. Okay, and then that's what they have been telling the younger, you know, just so that they can get a whole voting, you know, I don't know, voting base,
It's
you know,
pushed by the
basically.
CIA too.
Yes, pushed by the CIA, you know, so I don't know. I mean, I love the fact that I can vote, but I see the reasons in repealing the 19th. I'm not gonna lie, you know. I'm not for that because we're not there yet. I think that if this was in 1920, it would be different. But now that it's not, you'll never get it repealed, and then all you're doing is just pushing away independence with, you know, something that's not even realistic. So why even? I just think it's strategically not even possible.
I think you just got to look in a woman's eyes, right? You know, liberals always have those eyes, right? If they have those eyes, just don't let them vote. Take their fucking, take their prayers and their votes.
Is it like the crazy eyes?
Yeah, you
That's
know,
what they do.
like Thomas Massey's eyes in that picture we were seeing earlier. Those were liberal
I know.
eyes. The ones that look like they've gotten several vaccines plus a bunch of boosters.
Now, there's just one more small clip I want to play. This is very,
Oh, I thought
really
you were
quick.
done. Okay,
No,
I'm
this
sorry,
one's
John.
just really quick because it really kind of makes the mark about, or hits the mark about what parents are doing with their kids. Like they're having a child and they're giving them away. And I want you to listen
So
to this.
sad. It's the truth.
Someone else can cut Debbie's hair, but only I can be her mom. I want to do that. And everybody was telling me, you have to go back to work.
Perfect.
You have to go back to work. That's what we do now. 2 weeks after the baby's born, you got to go back to work. You need the money, you need the security, you need the income. And I looked around and thought, this is insane. Like, who came up with this system? Because I am going to go drop her off at 2 weeks old and let some lady who doesn't know or care about or love my baby the way that I do take care of her all day long. You know, if you factor in the commute, it's like 9.5 hours that I'm away from her. By the time I get home and feed her and give her a bath, it'll be bedtime. And that'll be it. I'll get like maybe 2 hours with my baby all day, you know? And I get to pay half of what I make to this other random person to raise my child.
It's crazy.
Such a scam. It's such
bad
a scam.
for everyone. It's bad for
It really
everyone.
is. It really is. Man.
Bad for everyone.
I don't want to say much more. I think she hit it out the park on Joe Rogan. I'm a big fan of her husband, Andrew Wilson. I think he's a fantastic debater. I love his logical argumentation style of debating. I've learned a lot from him. But man, when Rachel, like, I think Rachel outdid him on Joe Rogan. Like, I thought he
Yeah,
had
she
a great,
did.
great time, you know, watching Andrew and Joe, you know, shoot the shit. But when Rachel came in there, she came in there
She stood on business.
going
so,
at him,
yeah.
you know. And I think that if you have the opportunity, you should watch it. And I think if you appreciate what she's saying and you want to, you know, validate all of what she's saying, you should get her book.
Yep. And Ethan, you know your stuff because you were so right. He said women didn't even want the 19th Amendment at the time. Women were afforded the opportunity to vote for it if they wanted to vote, and they didn't show up. The women who did show up overwhelmingly said no. It was so bad that women's suffrage leaders, yes, banned women from voting. It was the suffrage leaders that actually banned because the women didn't want it. They didn't want it because they didn't want the same. They had a good situation. They were content, you know, and they were actually protected in a lot of ways. They could still own land. There was a lot of benefits that they still had, but in them voting now, they have the same responsibilities as the husbands and the men, and they didn't want that. They didn't want to go into politics. You know, they wanted to stay and have successful families. So very good point. Very good point. This all needs to get out there. Anyway, sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta-
I see
you
a
gotta
lot
talk
of
about it
women.
more.
I see a lot of women talk about repealing the 19th too. It's crazy. I know it's.
Well, you
it's a
look at these all.
huge-
Look at these women are crazy. They're insane. Like even
Absolutely.
Megyn Kelly, I don't know if it's like her menopause or whatever the fuck she's going through, but like total sellout.
They're
Candace
all
Owens,
just-
it's
they're all fake.
ridiculous.
They're all fake.
Yes.
Just understand that they were never Trumpers from the beginning, and it all makes sense.
Yes.
They're bag chasers. They chase clout. They need clicks. They want impressions. They're gonna jump on whatever side of the fence is paying the most money, every time.
Yeah. It's so
That's
sad.
why the Haji twins post one thing on X and one thing on Facebook.
'Cause they're
Those
women?
guys, because they're women, and because they're master grifter women for one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, queen grifters.
And I want to give a shout out to Joe Rogan because he
Because
does it
they're
so
women.
well. His podcast, it's simply him having a conversation and asking questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask a question. You should question everything, especially questioning people's motives. What makes them tick? And there's too many people that'll just accept what they're told. They'll be like, oh, okay. No, like if something doesn't seem right in your brain when somebody's trying to tell you something, hit them with the question. I mean, the best way to dismantle 99% of the arguments from the left is to question it. And they can't give you, I mean, this is why they use such generic statements when they talk online. And they'll be like, this is unconstitutional. This is illegal. Be like, well, could you tell me how it's unconstitutional? If it's illegal, what law is he breaking? What's the code? That's what you have to do. You have to question everything. It doesn't
This
hurt
is-
to question.
I literally debate black pillars the same exact way I debate liberals because they answer the same way
Yeah.
every single time. You it doesn't matter what it is. Today I get this dude that comes on like every single post that I make. Huge black pillar, loves Islam, supports the CCP. Anything that doesn't make sense, he's all about it. And they post the meme of Donald Trump taking $230 million from APEC. Complete lie. And I said, show me the transaction, right? All that financial shit's public. Show me the transaction. That guy spent half of his day posting video links and shit that has nothing to do with anything we were talking about hardly, instead of just showing the transaction. All their shit's fake and retarded. They argue just like the left, and if you just keep them on point and tell them to show you some, I mean, I'm just saying as an example. Tell them to show you they can't. They're gonna beat around that shit, and they'll spend all day doing it.
Yeah.
All day long.
Hey, Zach, can I just interrupt with breaking news from Ethan
Absolutely.
Kelly? Thank you so much because we knew that was going on. By the way, so Texas 23 primary election has Brandon Herrera at 40% against Tony Gonzalez at 44%, with 50% reporting. Thank you, Ethan. We really appreciate that. And to answer your question, Mike, John uses Pantene Pro V.
Why do you know that?
I don't know that. I
Oh.
completely made it up. It was like you remember the commercials where it's like
He,
the Pantene Pro V. Or I think
Shit,
it's
I
Pantene
do.
Pro V.
John's locked into. He's like, that's what I use.
Mike asked what shampoo you used.
Yeah, it's Pantene
Done.
Pro.
Yeah, I told you.
And I actually use Dove as well. And then I
Oh,
use
man.
a oil spray to keep that glistening glow, you know.
That's fucking gold. I love you guys.
All right, let's get in on. We got a couple
Also-
more topics. Oh, you want to say
Go,
something, Dylan?
Dylan.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw out there that Dan Crenshaw lost his primary too.
Fucking thank
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Dude, double
Guys.
eye
yes.
patch that bitch. Get that guy the fuck out.
Yeah.
And
Ah, the pirates be out of the race.
Ken Pack
Yes.
Ken Paxton's race is going to a May runoff.
Oh,
Okay.
it'll be interesting. We'll see what
I'm
happens
all-
there.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple
So
more
the
stories.
fight is
too.
not over in Texas.
He's
won't
calling.
be.
He's calling pretty good. I seen whoever was going against what's that stupid bitch's name? Jasmine Crockett. She,
Yeah.
Oh,
she's not
James
doing-
Tallarico versus
She's
Jasmine
not.
Crockett.
She's not doing good, bro.
I don't like
doing good.
Tallarico either, though.
Well,
he's
it's
a
better
little
than
Christian.
better than Jasmine Crockett.
Claims to be a Christian.
Yeah.
At least. All right. So we're gonna transition into
Let's go
the
Texas.
kids
Come
here,
on.
and let's talk about what this father had to go through.
America is a Christian nation.
Amen.
The principal, 1 year ago, the principal on the same day, World Hijab Day, wore that hijab and said she loved it all caps. 1 year to the day later, on World Hijab Day, Sunday, Monday hits, they're putting our girls in Sharia. They're passing out Sharia pamphlets, hijabs, Qurans, understanding Islam, understanding Sharia. Treating Sharia treats half of this room like. And these women are not. This is not a Muslim nation. This is a Christian nation. That principal knew what she was doing. And I am not believing that was one or two people at that front desk. Fired the principal. You tell the parents, don't go online to get information. But what did they get online? Marco told the truth. That's where they got the information. And you did. Online. Telling us not to go there. This was dawah. Muslim proselytizing. Dawah. It's like me as a Christian going into a school and witnessing to these kids. You want me to do that? Let's go.
Oh, oh yeah.
Oof. Oof.
Dude, Islam is a fucking cancer.
It really is.
It's a fucking cancer, and
It is.
God bless this guy for going in there and lighting them the fuck up.
Yep.
This is what they're doing, man. They're any place that they can get into and try to insert their bullshit, they're doing it right now. This is why the Israel thing with these fucking black pillars pisses me off so bad, because this country is actively being taken over by Islam. And they won't even bat a fucking eye. They support it. They support the shit.
Yep.
Man, we need more people like that guy.
And I just want to reiterate back to what Rachel Wilson was saying. This is what happens when you hand your kids off to the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not raising your child. Somebody else is raising your child. The majority of the time you spend with your kid is when your kid is sleeping. The other majority of time is when they're getting educated on this garbage.
Yeah.
You think
Why-
that's
I mean-
bad?
Why would you go into a school? If your intentions were good, why would you go into a school and try to spread Islam and Sharia to Christian children? If your intentions were anything other than fucking evil,
Yep.
why would you even do that? You can't.
Because
You
that's
have
their
freedom.
mission.
You have freedom of religion to come to America and practice Islam in your fucking home. All right?
Yep.
You don't have freedom of religion to come here and try to fucking convert children in a school.
Nope.
It's not even that. Okay, I'm gonna go a step further. It's not a religion. It's an ideology.
Word.
It's an ideology that contradicts the Constitution.
Yep.
Okay, and so if you're not, it goes back to the fact of, and it's stressed. It's a cult, and it's stressed as a religion. Okay, and so freedom of religion, whatever. You want to have that ideology, that's fine. But the problem with that ideology is it literally teaches to convert others and to change the law of the land, which goes against the Constitution.
Yep.
So if it all goes back to assimilating. This is America. We have freedom of religion, just like what Zach said, but you do not have the freedom to now go and change our laws. You don't. And, to propagandize, the next generation, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, our founding fathers built this nation on Christian ethics and principles.
Yeah.
That's how the Constitution was founded, because our founding fathers were Christians. And so if you're going to bring in a different ideology, it's going to counter what our Constitution was built on. And the other problem is that they were trying to put the 10 Commandments in school again, and there was major pushback. But where is the pushback from these politicians when they're pushing Islam into public education? Why is there a World Hijab Day being celebrated? That's the stuff that you have to question. You can't sit there and be like, one thing's bad, but we'll let this slide because, you know, it's learning about cultures around the world. It's garbage. Like this is how they're doing it. And they're screwing our kids over. And the next thing I want to talk about is something very disturbing, because I think this is also extremely important about getting your kids off the internet. It's bad enough that you hand your kids off to daycare or public education, and then they come home and you just sit there and you let your kids get on the internet. And this is the type of crap that they find with Roblox.
Yeah. Oh,
So this is at the school. That's a cool. I mean, that, you've seen the
Holy
footage. It
It says
is.
Sandy Hook Elementary
So
School.
how do you start?
Are those innocent people?
They have their actual names of the victims above their head.
You can hear
When
children
finish,
crying.
You get a leaderboard.
Oh my God, dude. What in the is this?
See, police come in there. I mean, you've seen the security cam footage. The kid walks through this door here.
Holy sh!
And there was 2 classrooms where this guy mowed down, I think it was 22 children.
Look at that. Look at that. There it is.
Where?
That's a Daniel defense.
Yeah.
See their legs are coming off.
Oh my God.
You can see their
What the-
eyeballs squirted out of their head.
I didn't want to play too much of that because I find it very disturbing. But this
Absolutely.
is the Sandy Hook Elementary, and you can see the name of the victims above their heads. This game is you shoot through the window like the shooter did and move through the classrooms where innocent children were. They have the actual room recreated and the actual names of the victims like a leaderboard, and any age can pretty much play Roblox. Now, I will give credit that Roblox did take this down within 5 minutes of reports. That doesn't mean 5 minutes within completion. So we don't know how long this was actually up, but when people started reporting it, Roblox did take it, and they did send the information to law enforcement. Now, whether you believe like Sandy Hook was a hoax or it wasn't a hoax, because I know there's people out there on both sides of the spectrum, it doesn't matter. This is this is something a kid should never see, and companies like Roblox, even though they did stop it, it's still allowed. So when you let your kids come home after going to school and they get on these games and you're not monitoring it, this is a problem for your child. Get your kids off the internet. Get them off their phones. Get them off their iPads. Be a parent. Go outside.
intentional.
Play ball. Go take them for a walk. Go teach them a hobby. Anything but being online.
Yeah.
so good, John. What about that other game where you build things? I had a movie about it. Minecraft. How's that?
Not good.
Not good. I don't think any
Innocence.
kid should be playing video games at all at this point. And this is listen, I'm fine with kids playing like arcade games and like the Nintendo where they're not online. Like, completely fine with that. But I think when you get into the online world, you're dealing with pedophiles, you're dealing with people that want to change their ideology, you're dealing with terrorists that try to sit there and radicalize these kids. And this has been documented. It's happened in many games, including one of the most popular ones out there was World of Warcraft. And they use these platforms to sit there and manipulate your kids because you're too busy doing whatever other bullshit in your life to not take care of your own child.
So sad.
I know I'm sounding a little rough here, and obviously
No,
I
you're
don't have
not.
a kid of my own, and I hope to someday that I do. But I'll tell you one thing: I would not let my kid on that internet until they're 17 years old.
No, dude. Absolutely say the shit that that everyone's thinking, right? It don't matter if it's hard to hear. It needs to be heard. Period.
Yeah, you're gonna get a crazy leftist kid that's gonna sit there and moan and call you all these names, and they'll get indoctrinated by crazy stuff on the left, and suddenly they're gonna cut their genitals off, call themselves the opposite gender. This is the type of stuff that you're letting happen.
Yeah.
Be a parent. For the love of God, be a parent.
I agree with Ethan. Kids should not, and that's where I'm at. Kids should not be allowed to be on the internet until they are a minimum 16 years old. Enforcement can be discussed separately, but this is crazy. I absolutely agree with that. I think even their brains developing, their eyes It's not
Yeah.
good for their eyes. Their eyes are
Nope. Blue
developing
light's
just to be
bad for you.
sat in a screen. Yeah, like it's just, it's so unhealthy on so many levels. It's convenient. It's hard. I'm not saying it's not hard. I've told you guys before that, like as we were in the process of moving and there's like, just they weren't in school. It was during summer and there's a couple days where they were just like on it because I was busy just unpacking and everything. And I took all of it away. I took all of it away. They do not get it except, on the weekends, like maybe an hour on the weekends, supervised. And that's like, basic games. They're not on the internet or anything like that. But you have to be intentional. Yeah.
It's a huge problem. I mean, a lot of the things that I think we see today, it's a lot of it really does come down to the youth. These, I don't even remember the stat, but like so many of Gen Z has already killed themselves, right? Or been killed, period, whether it's abortion or suicide. I mean, these kids have suicidal thoughts and, mental health crisis in children.
Yeah.
There's so many things wrong and nobody's paying attention to them. No one notices. The shit just goes unchecked until some crazy bad shit happens. And then everyone wants to act like it's a surprise. Kids need parents, man. Period.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they do.
All right. Dylan, do you have anything to say before we head into our Maha moment?
No, I just, I don't have kids, but I think, me personally, I think parents should just be more involved in their children's lives rather than just pawning them off to technology, is what I see.
agree.
So,
Yeah. Very good.
Absolutely. We got a fun Maha moment today. It's going to lead into a couple different quick videos. Hopefully, we'll have enough time for a little funny video at the end. So this came out. Please ignore the gajillion ads from this website, the Daily Mail. But declassified CIA files reveal chilling blueprint to manipulate Americans' minds through covert drugging with vaccines. So yes, we're talking like about those MK Ultra programs and everything. It is believed that specific research should be undertaken to develop new chemicals or drugs to improve known elements for use in artichoke work. That's what they called it, Project Artichoke. A study should be made to determine what drugs are best suited for direct use on subjects along the lines of Intel and Pental, and which drugs are best for indirect or long-range approach to subjects. This second type of drug should be one that could be administered over a considerable period of time, possibly being placed in food or water, and would either have an agitating effect, producing anxiety, nervousness, tension, etc., or a depressing effect, creating a feeling of despondency, hopelessness, lethargy. This study should include chemicals or drugs that can effectively be concealed in common items such as food, water, Coca-Cola, beer, liquor, cigarettes, etc. This type of drug should also be capable of use in standard medical treatments such as vaccines and shots. So, these are the multiple peer-reviewed studies have now linked the COVID vaccine to increased risk of cognitive impairment, depression, anxiety disorders, sleep disorders, Alzheimer's, ischemic stroke, hemorrhagic stroke, transient ischemic attack, myelitis. Boy, I can't say this stuff. Myasthenia gravis. So, and there's trust me, there's way more than this. Another thing that I have been very adamant about is folic acid and the MTHFR-5 gene mutation, which also is linked to impulsivity, hyperactivity, depression, anxiety, and many other things. And roughly, they say about 40 to 60% of the population has this gene, and folic acid is one of the causes of a lot of the problems. I have it. Rachel's got it. So to me, when I look at this report and I see what's being put in our food, what's being put in our water, like we all know fluoride was in the drinking water in a lot of city areas, lowers the IQ. We know about the chemicals in plastics that can mimic estrogen and lower testosterone. So a lot of things that you see, it's just, it contributes to an ever increasing mental health problem in this country. And I also think about the times before modern, the modern industrial age and everything, where people used to do the most insane stuff, fight wars, barely survive on food and hunger. And like, even in like the Great Depression, like anxiety and depression was nowhere near the levels it is now. We live in one of the most comfortable modern periods in history.
You're
And our
right.
anxiety and depression are through the roof. And you
Yeah.
can't just sit there and tell me it's just because we're worried about doing a presentation at work, or I forgot to like close the garage door, and my wife berated me about it. Now I'm all anxious. It's ridiculous to think that. So when it comes to me, and my Maha message is, we have to look at every single food additive that is in our food, and we need to sit there and evaluate it and remove it one by one. I've read a lot of these studies about our vaccines and how they're not using control groups, which gets me to my next video. I'm just going to go right into it. This is very interesting.
Product that exists.
Good old Joe Rogan.
I can sue the company. I can hold them accountable if that product injures or kills you or your child on the basis that product could have been safer. The only product, and I mean this literally, the only product in America where you cannot sue to say, had you made that product safer, my child wouldn't be dead. My child wouldn't be seriously injured. They wouldn't have a neurological disorder. They wouldn't have immunological disorder. They wouldn't have a nervous system disorder. They wouldn't have a cardiac issue. Are childhood vaccines and child vaccines used by adults.
Wow.
It's the only one. And that's because of a law called the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act of 1986. It gave pharma companies that incredibly special immunity. Now, just to put that into context, okay, and I'll tie this back in a second as to how we ended up with this notion of this belief religion in vaccines, because, given industry 40 years of unopposed ability to influence, they're going to get pretty dang far, and they did with vaccines. And so, a lot of industries face a crossroads where their products are causing more harm than good. Gas tanks used to explode. What did they do? They had a better gas tank, right? Building materials had asbestos, caused cancer. What did they do? They make better building materials, right? Did they give them immunity? No, of course not. But in the instance of vaccines leading up to 1986, there were only 3 routine vaccines. That's it. That's all there was.
Wow.
The child following the CDC schedule in 1986 got 3 injections on or before their first birthday. Okay? Those 3 products were causing so much harm and injury that every manufacturer of them went out of business. And that was the MMR vaccine, the DTP, and the OPV vaccine.
Wow.
Every single one. From 6 down to 1, or for the pertussis vaccine, 6 down to 1 for measles, about 3 down to 1 for polio. And with one company left for each, instead of forcing them to do what every other industry has to do, like I said, make better building materials without asbestos, make better cars that don't explode, go down the chain of different products out there, Congress did something completely unique. It said, you know what? We're just going to give you immunity. We're going to make it so that no individual, no parent, no child can sue you for the injuries and deaths caused by your vaccine products. That is what the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act 1986 did. And not only for those 3 products, but for any other childhood vaccine thereafter. And what that effectively has done is given 40 years for the industry to promote their products, no pushback. When you read about a problem with a car, where are you reading about it from? Usually a class action lawsuit in the paper, right?
Yeah.
You read about that in vaccines typically. And because of that, you ended up where we are. Anyways, there's a lot more detail to that, but I'll stop.
Oh, we should be able to sue Congress.
Yeah, no shit. That's
Seriously.
the accountability, right?
Right.
Somebody's got to answer for that.
And that's the thing that I'm trying to get across to people, is that we were taught as children to trust the system, to trust authority, that the people that are at the top, they're experts, and what they're doing is trying to make our lives better. It's bullshit. Because if that were true, they wouldn't need immunity from lawsuits and from vaccine injuries. And the worst part is, is that they mandated this shit.
I know.
So they said that
It's
you
insane.
have to get this if you're going to a public school.
Yep.
This is why people like me ended up with freaking autism, is because they let this shit happen. Those MMR vaccines were trash. Like when you
They're so
actually get
bad.
down to the studies and you look and you see that there's really no control groups, they weren't hiding the data because there was no data to begin with. The only data they were showing you was that it either works and that's it. There's no other. It's just it either works or not.
I gotta tell you, okay, I have zero, and it's not just that, it's also the medical industry.
Yep.
You know, it's like these doctors are, it's like, no, we have to do whatever the CDC says. And it's this, they make you feel, it's so condescending in how they, you know, sell it as well. It's like, who are you as a parent to question? You don't have a degree, and this is what we have to trust what the CDC says. And it's like, I know my child, I know that before they had the MMR, their digestive system was completely fine. And then the day after, there's, I mean, the day that they have, you know, the MMR, they get this crazy fever, and then their digestive system from there on out is just trashed. That's what happened to my first. That's when I stopped. That's when my eyes were opened. And I went straight to the doctor, and they said, no, it can't be the vaccine. Of course it was. You know, I was just here. This is the only thing that changed. You know, and that's really. And then you see a night and day difference. I told them that this, in my first child, and their immune system to my second child, where I didn't vaccinate at all. Night and day. You just can't. You can't trust the CDC, the FDA. I'm over it. I'm over all the 3-letter agencies.
And as
I'm
I
over
was
them.
saying earlier on, that you have to question motives. What do you think the motives are of a $1 trillion industry that's traded publicly? It's making profits. Vaccines is like 90 billion a year. This is what I keep telling you. And now we over medicate the crap out of people. Like when we had doctors, you know, and somebody would come in and be like, well, you're fat, you need to exercise, you need to diet, you need to eat right. Instead, it's like, well, here's Mounjaro, here's Ozempic, you know, it'll take care of your diabetes, you'll lose some weight, yada, yada, yada. Like they don't ever actually try to fix a problem. They just try to medicate a symptom.
Right.
And
Can I
this
read
is what happens.
Yeah. Can I read what Ethan Kelly said?
Yeah.
He said, I don't really know how, this was about Congress, but I think this is really good. I don't really know how it would be possible to sue Congress, but I definitely think that there should be able to sue representatives for violating their campaign promises and not voting the way their constituents want. Either that, or we should be able to have national referendum elections to push legislation when Congress stalls on it. I like that. Ooh, I like
That's
that.
a good one.
Right? That is really good. And then Until I Fall said, not to make you healthy, it is to maintain a consumer base of sick people. You're absolutely
Every
right.
patient that's cured is a customer lost.
That's exactly right.
And that's why I have this one last little blip.
You know,
I mean,
John,
yeah.
before you play your clip, my stepdad, I don't know if I talked to you about this yet. I thought you'd enjoy this conversation. My stepdad, a little over a year ago, was diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, right? And he had taken fenbendazole, did a little bit of chemo, and some radiation. He ended up they gave him 12 months to live, and he ended up cancer-free 6 months later. Now they have continued radiation after he was cancer-free and damaged his lungs now.
Yeah.
So now he has... He beat lung cancer, but now they've damaged his lungs with radiation, so now he has to take breathing treatments and shit. That's some shit, right?
Oh, yeah. I hear
Ruined.
ivermectin
So
has
sad.
some good cancer-fighting qualities these days.
Same thing
Good
as
reasons for that.
fenbendazole, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this I just want people to see. Now, I read hundreds of these stories, but I just want to give you guys an idea. Mom accused of sending her husband on an errand so she could kill her 3 kids before paralyzing herself by jumping out a window appears in court.
What the fuck?
The attorney of Lindsay Clancy says she was prescribed as many as 12 medications by doctors. Her husband says she was over-medicated, that she began hearing voices in her head. Her husband
Poor
actually
baby.
went to the doctor the week before to ask for help and said, "You're turning her into a zombie," defense attorney Kevin Reddington said. It was just brutal existence that they were living. Her parents were aware of this. They were trying to help out the husband as well. The Massachusetts woman was charged with the murder of her 3 children, and she's like paralyzed.
It's fucking
How
insane.
sad. How sad.
Insanity.
How sad.
You know, they used to sit there and be like, "Well, what's your list of medications you're on?" Has any doctor in your time ever sat there and said, "Well, this medication is going to affect this medication"? I've never heard it. I've never heard it once. You know why they want that list of medication? To see if it's messing you up more than its intended use. Like, you're taking acid reflux. All right, let's monitor and make sure their kidneys are all right. We got to do blood work to make sure the kidneys are right. You know, this is the type of shit that they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, personally, I'm sick and tired of it. Like, yeah, if the companies need to fail, then so be it. But like, we need to stop poisoning our people.
Yeah.
We need to
It's
stop.
important. It's important. You're doing great,
And no
John.
bailouts for the
No bailouts.
the medical industry in the future.
No.
Because fuck them.
I think
They
I
made
think
enough
the-
money. They'll
the
figure it
medical
out.
industry, a lot of people need to start being held accountable for this shit.
Yeah.
It's good, Ethan. Ethan's
Take
on
that
fire.
immunity off. See what we'll say.
Yeah, he said you make more money treating cancer. We know this, and then curing it. It's why it's
Yep.
called health care and not treatment.
Yep.
Very good.
And I guarantee you, they know
They
that
have
a
the-
lot
they
of the
have-
food we're eating is causing cancer.
Oh yeah,
I know it.
100%.
You know, like you can't
mean-
like tell me like 150 years ago that people were dropping dead all the time of cancer. No, they weren't.
I think Bill Gates dabbles in the food industry. Right? It's cancer, and they know
Yeah.
it.
Vaccines. Oh my God, the COVID vaccine alone has so many cancer-inducing properties to it. And I listen. The McCullough Foundation, I think they do great work. They fight against medical tyranny.
Yes,
Peter
they're
McCullough,
amazing.
one of the top cardiologists, epidemiologists in the country.
Yes.
His boy Nick Holscher, I follow him. He's on X. He's also an epidemiologist. They do a lot of these studies. And then you
Yeah.
get these random idiots on X that are like, well, that's not a reputable source. That's the freaking problem. Like, stop believing the reputable sources. Start listening to every opinion and then look at
No,
the data.
Peter
and form
McCullough
your own
was
opinion.
one. Peter McCullough was actually like the top. I forgot what it was, but he was like the
Cardiologist.
top. Yes, yes.
He was
Before
one of,
and then
one of the biggest proponents of speaking out against the COVID vaccine
They-
and the
right.
myocarditis, the pericarditis.
right, and they
Yep.
silenced him.
Yep.
They tried to silence him. They tried to ruin him. They tried to say he was a quack. And meanwhile, it's like he was so respected in the medical community before all of this.
Yep.
You know, so
But
that
he's not
just goes to
reputable.
show you.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Idiots.
Of course he is.
Yeah. You always have
Everything
to
that
question
happened,
if money is
that
the
he
goal.
said was going to happen, happened.
Yep.
You
They-
have all
they
these
fiend.
turbo cancers. Yeah.
They
What
fiend
movie
for
was-
the propaganda, man.
I think it was
They
what
fiend
Fight
for it.
Club where they were talking about it, where like Edward Norton's character was like doing insurance stuff to determine if it's better to do a recall or just let the problem go and deal with the lawsuit. That's literally all they care about. Is at
Just
the
broke-
end of the day, is how much is it going to affect our bottom line?
You just broke the only rule of Fight Club, John.
Listen to this. Yeah.
Well, we were fighting.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
Isn't the
So
second rule?
what's the first rule?
It's
No,
both,
that's
I
the
think.
first rule. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, AK Mike J. I know 2 people personally who had cancer that are now cancer-free from ivermectin. One went through surgeries, chemo, etc., was sent home with 6 months to live, told to plan his funeral. Finally convinced him to try ivermectin. He went back to his 3-month checkup and was cancer-free. Not remission, it was gone.
Yep.
Doctors were stunned.
I think I
So
was also
many
reading
stories
the
like this.
dandelion roots are like
Same-
also a potential.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with my stepdad and fenbendazole. Fenbendazole is like the same thing as ivermectin.
And you know what the difference is? They're cheap to make.
Yeah, I
They're
think
not going to make you billions.
I think the chemo helps, as much as I hate to say it.
No,
I think it
yeah.
does.
I think
it
it
does.
helps
I think it's-
within the current terrible process that we have now.
I think
but I
it
think
slows.
there's a lot better options.
I think it slows the cancer down enough for the fenbendazole or ivermectin to actually do what it does.
Yeah.
I think it's important
That's
that
a
you
good
do
take.
both.
But to me, like, I'm the person who wants to go for the source. Let's get the source of the cancer, and then we don't have to worry about treating it. But they don't want to do that because it makes the money, and everything makes money.
Yeah, let's be
Cancer-
preventative.
Money's
Let's
money.
not- let's-
It's
let's
all about
not
the
get
money.
it.
They probably make more money, that whole industry, off cancer than anything else. I'm sure.
Yeah. So Chris Manella 7652. We know the food is bad. Why can't we change it? We're trying. That's what RFK is trying to do. He can't do, like, I think John said this perfectly. We can't just rip all the food off the shelf. I think you can say this, John.
Yeah. So
I don't want to take your
what I
talking
was
point.
saying is that we have like roughly 10,000 food additives, and if we were to sit there and rip all these food additives out and completely ban them, go into your local food market, the overwhelming majority of the food in there all has food additives. So you take them all out, outside of like maybe some fruits and veggies that have pesticides sprayed on it, glyphosate, wonderful.
Yep.
And now you have an empty store. Now you have people trying to get food. Oh, there comes famine. Now people are all pissed because they don't have food, and they're going to start fighting each other. You got all these big, fat, liberal women that are living on food stamps. Where's my food? I'm Gorlock. Where's my food? And now they're going to sit there and start eating everybody. So yeah, like we can't just
Everybody.
sit there.
Start eating everybody.
We
They're
can't
gonna turn
just
into
sit there
cam-
and remove it all. We have to remove it bit by bit. You got to go like 10, 15, 20 food items at a time. And then and start replacing it like with what he's doing with food colors and food dyes is we're replacing it with
huge.
natural stuff and not chemical stuff. And that's what we have to keep doing. But I mean, one of the big things I would love to see is folic acid go bye-bye. I want the natural version, folate, in our foods instead, because you cannot convince me folic acid is good. Dylan, you have something to say.
And didn't RFK give all these companies like till the end of this year to get it corrected whenever he
Yeah,
enacted
he's giving them
what
time
he
to sit
did?
there
That-
and change a lot of their
yeah.
stuff, because obviously if you did it right on the spot,
He's giving
once
them like
again, it would
18
affect-
months for
it would affect food
manufacturing.
supply.
Yeah,
Even
I've
though
been
the
seeing
food's
like
poison, we still need food to live, unfortunately.
I've been seeing like naked Doritos
So we'll-
and
we'll-
Cheetos at the store.
Yeah.
Naked Doritos
we'll
and
start
Cheetos.
seeing the changes.
Yeah, for real.
We'll start seeing the changes in the supermarkets next year.
Yeah. And Chris,
I hope
that is
so.
good.
Yeah,
We
we're
should
starting to
be
see it now.
growing our own food.
Yeah,
I recommend
absolutely.
mushroom soil. Stuff just goes crazy. with mushroom
Yes,
soil.
it does.
Crazy.
It
I
absolutely
got
does.
peach trees. I got pears, apples. We grow tomatoes, broccoli, asparagus, etc. Peppers. I got a whole bunch. Green beans. So we grow a lot of our food here where I'm at. I try to eat as organic as I possibly can. It's impossible to be fully organic in our society. But I'm telling you, we're going to get there. I know RFK Jr. is still working hard on this. He's going to keep doing it. And when he's finally ready to call it quits, I would love to take over, and I'll keep doing it. I'm not looking to sit here and like get money or get paid or be a powerful position. I want to make sure that every child has clean, healthy food and is not getting poisoned by medications and vaccines, so they don't have all the mental health crap that I had to have when I was a kid, then get poisoned by psychiatric drugs, then deal with constant anxiety, constant depression, suicidal ideation. I don't want any other child to go through that. It was a rough existence early on in my life, and if it's one thing I will do before I die, is to help make sure that kids are healthy again. That's my
Awesome.
main goal. That's my goal.
That's
And before
awesome.
we close off tonight, I got a funny video from Tim Burchett, but Zach wants to say something.
I just want to say before we close off, I know everyone's kind of discouraged a little bit about, what we're seeing with the infighting and everything on this side of the political spectrum. They're feeling like the midterms are lost and things like that, but I think what's happening in Texas right now is a pretty good sign that we could still come out pretty well. And I'll tell you right now, I thought I was gonna lose a bunch of followers. Not that my fucking activity on X is like any sign of what's gonna happen, but I thought when I started calling out all these big black pillar accounts on X that I was gonna start losing a lot of followers and shit. I gained like 2,000 followers and lost 30. So I don't. I've said it for a long time. I don't think it's as big of an issue as it's been amplified to look like it is. I'm afraid for people to get discouraged because it's going to make people feel like I don't even need to go fucking vote. Right? It's just a lost cause anyway. I think we're going to do a lot better than everyone thinks we're going to do. So please don't get discouraged and make sure that you show up to vote. That's all I want to say.
That's so good, Zach. And here is another update. So Congressman Al Green, who has repeatedly filed impeachment articles against President Trump, is losing his primary. That was at Pino Americano, who's an awesome follow, by the way. We love Pino. So, all right. I'm telling you, we need to vote. Our votes.
Stay hyped, guys.
Hold
We
on.
can do this.
We got
MAGA's
this great
still-
video.
MAGA's
Tim
still
Burchett
strong.
schooling
Yeah, it
Bernie
is.
Sanders on the SAVE Act.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett. I woke up this morning perplexed that one of our U.S. senators doesn't know how to get his own birth certificate. Bernie Sanders. He was born in the state,
Dementia does
I
that.
think in 1941. So I just typed in my little cell phone here in the Google search. And if you don't know the Google search, Bernie, that's GOOGL. Type in, after you get it, up at the top, how to get a birth certificate in New York. And guess what? It popped right up, the Vital Records Department. And then you just scroll down and it says birth certificate, oddly enough. Crazy talk.
It's pretty easy.
And then I clicked on that and it went through what you need to do. And then you can even use your credit card, which I'm sure you as a capitalist will have a credit card. Or if you don't, I'm sure one of your many staffers will have that. And all you got to do is fill it out. And that gum, guess what? They'll mail it to you, Bernie. It's crazy talk. Or I think they can even send one to you online. I mean, it's just incredible. I was perplexed on this whole issue that we were causing great consternation on you. And now I understand the governor of California as well. So I would encourage you to do that, Bernie. If you don't know how to do that, ask one of your many staffers. I'm sure they will assist you. It's a very simple process, Senator. And
We need more.
there's no reason that you don't get in line with about 85% of your constituents that think you, in fact, should be an American citizen to vote and show proof of that with a birth certificate. Oddly enough, it's the same dadgum birth certificate that if you were a young man, you would have to show if you were going to play Little League Baseball. It's crazy. And then what do you got to do when you go vote? Show your photo your photo ID, your driver's license. And if you don't have a driver's license, most states will provide you with a photo ID for free. That's crazy.
What?
Crazy.
Crazy.
So, Bernie, I would encourage you to do that. And I'm sorry you're so perplexed on this issue. Thank
We
you.
need more Tim Burchett, dude.
He's
We really do.
amazing. He's
Dude,
killing
he's
it.
hilarious.
We need to
God
have
bless that man.
we need
He's
to
a
have
patriot.
representatives
Amen.
and senators all over the place, just cooking the shit out of the dumb people in Congress and the Senate.
Jasmine Crockett also lost. Sorry.
Fuck yeah, beautiful. See, guys, MAGA's not dead. This
'Cause
is what
fuck
they
'em,
keep
that's
telling
why.
you. This is what they keep telling you. This is what they keep wanting to get you feeling like, to get you discouraged. Dude, MAGA's fucking cooking. All right,
Yeah.
stop letting these fucking idiots feel like they run this party, man. They'll never come back. That's the thing. They fucked up. They're out and they're not coming back.
Yeah. And don't ever listen to
just
like a
don't
Nick
fucking get
Fuentes who can barely lift his own body weight.
Right now, I'm a black pillar's worst nightmare, man. I'm having a lot of fun.
You're really good at it.
Dylan, you got any closing remarks for the show tonight?
No, just I want to let y'all know that I stand with President Trump 100%. I have for a long time. I appreciate you guys bringing me on the show tonight, and there's going to be a lot more going on in the next few weeks, but I'm excited for what the future holds, especially for what we're trying to do here.
Amen. And where can they find you on X? What's your handle?
They can find me at Dylan Ivy 1.
You, did
It's
you
just
say that one more
IVY.
time? You digitized for a second. Say it one more time for us.
Nah, sorry. It's a Dylan Ivy. Dillon Iivy.
All right.
1, right?
1. Because he's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
one.
1. Yeah, I'm not one of them IVEY people. Okay.
One of them. No, you did
One of the
too,
true
Rachel. So
Ivies.
one of those.
Yeah, I did.
Zach and Rachel, who's up and to my left, you guys have any closing comments before I give a closing spiel?
I pretty much gave mine. Everybody just cook those fucking black pillars, cook those groypers. They're afraid. They can't debate you. Just make them look as bad as you can.
I do want to
And,
say this. Go ahead.
vote.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that was it.
Vote. I do want to say that I am praying for the service men and women who lost their lives. I don't take that lightly, and we pray for our military. But we do back our president, and we're thankful for their sacrifice and everything that they've done. And I love this country, and it's worth fighting for. But we have to fight.
Absolutely.
We have to.
Man, you took that right out of my closing statement because that was one of my big things in the closing statement. Yes, God bless our troops. I understand it's a very difficult job out there, and you know what? Somebody's got to do it, and we're
Yeah.
glad that you're patriots, and that we're going to hold you to a high standard. And anytime I see a patriot out there, I'm gonna thank you for your service, and I think it's very important that we go around and we do that, and we make sure that we know that these people are sacrificing for our country so that we
Yes.
can live this privileged life. 'Cause let's be real, we all live a privileged life in this country, regardless of where we stand in the economic level.
Can I
It's
say
not
one more
even-
thing?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And anyone who says that they didn't die for America, you're scumbags.
Oh, yeah.
Because they absolutely died for America.
Yep.
I just want to say they're not even just making our lives better here. You got Iranians fucking crying, screaming in the streets because they're free of a fucking terrorist regime right now.
Yep.
Because of our
beautiful thing.
military.
It's a beautiful thing.
And let's hope that Trump can free us of the radical Democrats soon enough, right?
Yep.
Every time
We
they
gotta
make
help
that-
'em.
Every time they make that bogus fucking statement about us fighting this war for Israel or whatever the fuck they're gonna say, they're disrespecting every single accomplishment that our military makes.
Thank you.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's gross. It's gross.
it is.
And they're saying that they didn't die, that they died for Israel. You know what? Like, I have no patience for that. You're a disgusting human being, and how dare you?
Sounds real America first, doesn't it?
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yeah. Way off topic, but this goes out to Nick Fuentes. Fuck you, buddy. We're coming.
Bitch ass. Shut up, bitch. Yeah.
And
shut
thank
up,
you
bitch.
everybody for tuning in tonight. We appreciate all of our viewers out there. And
Yes,
one
we
thing
do.
I always want to say is do your own research. Don't listen to us and just be like, oh, they said it on the podcast. Like literally, if we said something, I would prefer that you go research it yourself. We're not perfect. We get it
Yeah.
wrong from time to time. There's a lot of slop out in the world, so it's quite possible that we make a mistake. And if you call us out on it, and I research it, and you're right, then I will sit there and admit it. But more
Absolutely.
than anything, I
100%.
want you to do your own research. I do not want you to just sit there and take everything at face value and go spew it around. If the more research you do, the better we are. We'll get to getting truth, logic back into our country. Other than that, we do host a space every Thursday and Saturday at X at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Come on out, come say hi. We'll give you a speaker. We'll shoot the shit,
Yeah.
and then we'll be back here next Tuesday doing another podcast.
Also, pardon John's French.
Yes, pardon my French.
Don't pardon Zach's, though.
Yeah, not his. Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Yeah. Just everybody else's.
Zach's the biggest F-bomb, probably the biggest.
The biggest.
The F bomb.
So good.
Yes,
So
because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
You're getting better at that.
I'm getting there.
He is.
Thank you, everybody, though. Seriously, we all appreciate you, and God bless you
Thank
all,
you.
and have a great night, as my dog loves flipping upside down.
Yes.
Yeah.
See y'all next time.
Good night, guys.
Peace.